talked a lot about the results from the variation service. We've talked about all the individual files and folders. We've talked about the parameters. Last time we looked at the genome browser. There's another way that you can view that data, and that is through the circular viewer for an individual genome. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, let's go up here, and under parameters, let's copy and paste that number. So I'm going to open a new tab here just to show you how to search for it. Put the genome and it loads it, and this is our genome. So it's loading all the information of that. So here's the mysterious text files circular viewer. Let's look at those. So what we've done, used to I had to download these things into Excel, add a certain number of size to each of the SNPs to be able to see it in the circular viewer, because it's kind of an overview of a genome all in one piece. It has to be big enough to see in an individual SNP, one SNP it can't see. So I'd add more in to show that location. But then some of our genius developers decided just to create these folders for you. So I want to click on this one. And then I want to look at the moderate ones, because that is where that dihydrofolate reductase, most of those were moderate mutations, except there were an occasional low one. But the low one was a synonymous mutation. We're snobs. We don't care about those. And that one from the second one, and this one from the third one. So I've got 3 selected, and I'm going to download those. Oh, variants. Okay. Wants to download it as a zip file. It's trying to help me. I shouldn't be that angry with BV-BRC. It's trying very hard to be helpful. So I submit that, and then I'll get a notice when it is downloaded. And I'll go to my Finder, and you can see it's a zip file. So I have to double click on it to unzip it, and then I can open it. And I've got my 3 files right there. Okay. So we're going to go over to this page, which is the genome that was our reference genome. And we're going to click on the circular viewer. This is a very popular view of genomes in BV-BRC. I'd see this in a lot of publications. People like this. Now, this particular genome has a lot of contigs. Let's go back to the overview to see just how many contigs it's in. 95. So this view isn't going to be beautiful, but if it was a closed genome in just one contig, you can imagine how gorgeous it would be. So if you can do hybrid assemblies with long and short reads, you'll get better pictures. Stepping through this, on the outside, it's just showing you the contigs. The first row in, which are the green, those are genes on the forward strand. The second row in are genes on the reverse strand. And then it has non-CDS features. I don't want to see those, so I'm going to click that off. Did you see how easy I did that? Just clicking that X. And then it has AMR genes. That might be useful, so I might leave that on. And then the next one, those yellows, are the virulence factor genes. I don't care about that. Transporters. I mean, virulence factors, of course, I do care about. And transporters and things, I promise you, I care. But we're looking at AMR genes right now. So transporters, then drug targets, then GC content and GC skewed. I'm going to get rid of all of those. And here's one of the beautiful things about this particular viewer is you can add your own data. So scroll down here to upload your own data, and I'm going to choose a file, and I'm going to click into the variants, and I'll do the first one and open that. And that was 96 moderate. And let me just check. I think BE1 was our little moderate friend. Yes, manifold 096. Okay. So then I can click on the plus, and he's uploaded. And you know what? when I look at this, I can see that 96, it makes me, well, let's look at the other ones before I slander poor manifold 96. Let's see the other ones. So I can choose a second file, and I'll do number 2 and open that. And that one was 145 moderate, and at that. And oh, those are kind of hard to see, aren't they? Those green ones. Well, look at what I can do here. I'm going to click on that green box, and then I can change the color. So I'm going to change it to black where we can see it better. And look how many fewer SNPs there are in 145 compared to 96. So it looks like 96 had a lot of angst. Let's look at the next one, and we'll see who's closer. So I'm going to choose a file, and then I'm going to go to the third one and open that. And I've got to say 147 and then upload it. Oh, and another boring color. Let's do this like a dark, vibrant blue. Okay. So this is interesting. You know what? I think that when you look at it this way, you don't see this so much in the genome browser. You get a hint of it when you look in the tabular view, that there are a lot of mutations in one sample versus the other. But when you see this and you know the experiment and you know they're all being treated the same way, sometimes it can give you hints of a particular sequence, that there may have been issues with the sequence. Not that the variants are bad, but I bet a lot of these are in places with very low coverage. So at this point, I could say, you know what, this isn't going to help my story for my publication, my presentation, my grant review. So I'm going to get rid of it. And then you can see more of where those things are, where they're shared. So there are certain areas where they do line up. If I can sneak in there, you have to be very cagey in the way you go over there. There's a mouse over that shows you that, but you can see who's shared and who's not. And if you like it, you can export the image this way. And it'll give you a scaled vector graph that you can include in your publication. If it looks like, you know, this many contigs, it won't look so pretty, but sometimes these things are really beautiful. So that is the circular viewer and viewing the SNPs. And also, when you have that bird's eye view, sometimes you can get a sense of the quality of some of the sequences that you used in the service. Thanks a lot. See you next time.